Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Cool Sherry Bro. I'm here to talk to you guys about interviews today, and specifically I'm here to talk to you about my most recent interview experiences when I went to 3 different schools to interview for their DPT programs. I'm going to show you guys some footage from the interview days that I took. Most of the footage is in my cart. After the footage, I'll talk to you guys a little bit more in depth about how those interviews went. I'll see you guys back here soon. Hey, what's up, you guys? So today I am at an interview for a program. I actually have 3 interviews back to back, like not back to back on the same day, but I have an interview today, which is Thursday the 30th, tomorrow Friday the 31st, and then Saturday February 1st. Yeah, the interview starts at 12:15, I guess, and it's gonna be an interesting interview because this school actually make you do like a timed writing sample, and I've never done that before. Well, I mean, it's not like I've had like hella interviews or anything like that. Makeup is pretty neutral. And guess what? This lipstick, you guys, it's by Huda Beauty. I wear it every single day basically. Guess what it's called? If you guessed interview, then you're correct, because yeah, it's literally called Interview, and it's such a fitting name. I've worn it to the other interviews as well. So maybe it's good luck. So you should go get it. I feel like if I was still waiting to get into a program, I would be like a lot more nervous right now. But since I know, like, okay, I'm already accepted at such and such program, like, doesn't mean I'm not going to try hard for this, because obviously I'm here, I'm ready to go. But it kind of takes like the edge off a little bit. I am definitely taking it seriously, but it's nice to know that if it doesn't work out, like, I'm still good, you know? I'm not saying this program is necessarily like something that I'm going to pick over the program I'm currently in. I'm just kind of trying to like weigh out all my options, see where I get in. I feel like all schools should do in-person interview, because I feel like gives people that are maybe not like the most competitive, maybe based on grades and stuff. Not that, like, obviously if you have straight A's, you're going to be very competitive, versus if you have like a mixture of grades. Like, you know, I have D's, I have a D on my transcript, I have an F on my transcript, I have a couple C's in there too, you know. Obviously I've still got invited for interviews, but I feel like they're able to see like past that and see you as a person and decide kind of more holistically. I was getting so many compliments on this color. I feel like it goes, like, it's a little bright, but I'm a bright and colorful person. I have such a colorful, creative personality, so it fits. Anyways, I'll try to record inside when I can, but don't count on it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna kill it, and I will check back in with you later. You guys, I'm back from that interview. I am just so tired. It's almost 5 o'clock, and I just wanted to share how it went at this school. I'm actually really happy, because going into this interview, I really didn't know much about the school, if I'm being honest. But now I've learned so much, and I'm actually really into it. I'm strongly considering it. Of course, if I got accepted. But I think my interview went well. It was totally different than the other interview that I've had. It was like split up into like 4 like components. So we actually had to do a writing sample. I might have mentioned that before. We had the interview. There was a Q&A session with 2 students, and also a different 2 students gave us a tour. What was most different about this interview was the interview I had before had 90 students there. This interview, there was literally 18 of us. So I don't know, I feel like we were very seen because there wasn't that many of us, so everyone was like acknowledged and everything like that. And I think the big thing about this school that they kept emphasizing is like their humanistic approach, which means like basically they see us as students and not just like numbers to them, and they really want us to do well. And the vibe is so much like a family, so much like a close community. I don't think I've really, like, I feel like I felt that before, but I don't know if I felt it like as much as I did today. So I'm actually really impressed by this school. Like, I'm looking forward to hearing back, and hopefully I get in, and it's gonna make it so hard to make a decision as to like where I want to go. But they gave us these bags when we checked in. Now I'm gonna shower, get some food, chill. Obviously, like I already said, I have another interview tomorrow. I need to get something else to wear especially because somebody that I met at this interview, this girl, she's actually going to be at the interview again tomorrow. I don't want her to see me in the same thing that I wore today. Which, I mean, I myself, like, even if she wasn't going to come, like, I'm still going to get something else to wear. But yeah, you know how it is. Girls, if you hear the music in the back, it's just the Airbnb I'm at. They're playing music. Okay, just turn off. Look at what happens when you tuck it in. Okay, look at that. It is so wrinkly. But if you look on my Instagram, I've worn this before. This polka dot shirt, green pants, and the green jacket. I love this suit because I love that, like, I love like olive green / green in general. And it's so funny because on the card, look at the group green. Insane. You guys, I am so exhausted. It's 5:37. I'm back home. I'm just waiting. I ordered some food, so I'm just waiting for it to get ready. But I just finished my last day. This is my little name tag. I just cannot stress enough how lucky and how blessed I feel that I had the opportunity to do all these interviews, and I'm so lucky that they were all on separate days and I could make it to all of them. Because, you know, a lot of schools, they don't do any makeup interviews, or they only just have one day, etc., etc. So I'm so lucky that I was able to do them. I just realized that it's so important for schools to have interviews because it's so mutually beneficial. Like, they get to learn about you beyond what you've put on paper, but you get to learn so much about the school and see what the students have to say about it. You can ask them literally anything, and see how the professors interact with the students and how the faculty really is. Like, at some schools, it was like they were so welcoming, like just beyond like happy to have us there, and some they were like you know, maybe more reserved, and I didn't really see the interaction that much. So I had been thinking about this specific school, right? Like, I've been thinking like, oh, if I get in there, I'm definitely gonna go there. Like, that's my number one choice. And I'm like, girl, like, you don't know literally anything about the school besides what they have on their website, right? Obviously, and what I've found through doing research, whether it's in forums or stuff like that. But it's like, I really don't know anything about this school, but I'm supposed to commit to it, you know, for like the next 3 years. Like, that sounds a little crazy. So I feel like I have a newfound appreciation for these schools that do interviews and put themselves out there to showcase themselves to students, to applicants, you know, and it just feels like really good. It's definitely a confidence booster getting invited to interviews because they constantly congratulate you on making it that far, and they stress, like, you know, how proud you should be of yourself for like getting that interview and making it to the step, whether or not you go further and actually you know, matriculate into that program. Like, that's a whole other thing, but you know what I mean? Like, they make you feel really good about yourself. So yeah, it's nice. So yeah, finished up my last interview today. This is my little goodie bag. So I got this from my Thursday interview. So at that interview, they gave us this bag, and it came with like a little booklet, and it shares basically information about the university and more obviously like about the program. Of course, it tells you how much exactly it's gonna cost to become a PT. I could buy a house with this kind of money. But anyways, they also gave this little flyer for these apartments. What's really cool about this school is they actually have apartments on their campus, and literally like just be on campus all the time, like be right next to the library, to your classmates, to your classes, to lab, you know. So I think that's a very big plus about this university. Another cool thing that they gave us was a pen. So my favorite thing is this hand sanitizer. It's a spray. Look, I'll spray it. Ooh, cool. And you don't even have to rub it in, it just like kind of dries. Dope. And it smells like oranges. What I like about that university is literally, you guys, like, I went into this place, I wasn't thinking much about this, it wasn't even really on my radar, and I was just blown away by the faculty's connection with their students. That was just the most impressive part. They actually did this really cool thing where they had one of the faculty members gave like an impromptu like lecture. It was really cool. It was super engaging. He like had like people like demonstrate like walking and stuff, so it was like super engaging. I actually really liked that professor too. So yeah, it was a really cool university, really cool experience. This one happened to be like an individual interview. Here's the thing about individual interviews: you don't feel like you have to compete with someone else for like a good answer. The con of it though is when they ask you a question, you kind of have to just like say your answer right there. I mean, you can take some time to think about it, but I usually didn't. I just started talking. Another thing I really like about this university is that it's like, it takes up like 3 or 4 street blocks, and it actually kind of feels like it's like a mini campus. It's not like a state university, but it's like a mini campus. So it's like nice, you get that campus feel. Also, fun fact, one of their students actually scored a perfect score on the boards. So that just speaks to how well they prepare their students. I think I'm considering that university. I haven't gotten in yet or anything like that. I haven't gotten in yet. But when I do, it's going to be like really hard for me to be like, where am I going to go? Next university I went to, they gave us this folder, and they basically printed out like their PowerPoint slides for us and then gave other program information. This program is in Central LA, and that is by far the biggest con of this program. Because if you are familiar with LA traffic at all, you know it's bad. And in Central LA, it's just bad all the time. So I don't know how I feel about living like around there. I mean, obviously you can live wherever and commute, but just the commute would be like so annoying. The coolest part about this university is it has like panoramic views of the city. So you see downtown LA, you see the rest of LA as well, right? Everywhere you look. And then their topmost floor where they have their cafeteria, you actually can see the Hollywood sign, and it's not like it's super far away. It's actually pretty close. So that's really dope. Also, they don't charge you for parking. Like, you don't have to get a parking permit or anything, which is also amazing, because I know in the other university their parking permit's like a couple $100s, so you save money there. I mean, I hadn't really given much thought to this, but basically they don't have cadavers. I guess that's like a big thing, because like, I don't know, I didn't really have like an opinion on using cadavers or not. They put that time that you would put towards cadavers into palpating, and they emphasize that more, because their thinking is like, you know, when you have a patient in real life, it's not like you're going to get to open them up and look at the muscle. Like, you're going to have to feel for it. So they put a strong emphasis on being able to feel the muscle from the outside. I get where they're going with that. That can be like a big thing for people. I don't really know how I feel about it, honestly. I feel like I'm more concerned with the location than like the cadaver use. Last place I interviewed, it was really close to me. It's actually a state university here. Biggest pro about that is state universities are going to have the cheapest tuition, so that's a big thing for people when they're applying. My biggest pro about this university is that it's like a campus, right? It's like a state university, so it's like a campus feel. I really like that. I just feel weird going to a school that just has like buildings, like just like whether it's one building or like a couple, it just feels so weird to me, because it's like all I'm ever used to is like multiple buildings and like a campus, you know. Also, they're really big on community and giving back to the community, and they have a bunch of like clinics integrated into their curriculum that students get the chance to work at on campus. The opportunities that they have set up for their students to like give back are really dope. And another thing about this university, they send you out to your first rotation after your first year, like your first summer. So, you know, you would start in the fall, have spring, and then by summer you'd go out to your first rotation already. Which to me, I was like, what? Like, heck no, like I wouldn't even be ready. Like, I just want them all at the end, you know, like that's what I thought like you're supposed to do, how it's supposed to be. Like, I thought that's how it was everywhere. But no, they had a good point. I talked to a student about that. I was like, did you feel prepared like when you went out? And she said, yeah, I actually did. Even though like the stuff that you learn the first 2 semesters is like prepares you kind of for like an inpatient setting, but some students get sent out to outpatient, and they try to like link you with CIs that kind of know that and, you know, foster your growth. Yeah, it's just dope how this university sets up their rotations, because they do it in a way that it's not all at the end, And the purpose of that is to like get your foundation going early on, get your hands in there early on, and then, you know, keep building on that as the semesters pass. And so that's kind of how I felt about these interviews. I think I personally did well. Like, of course, I'm going to think that. But no, like, you know how sometimes you think like, oh, I like really messed up somewhere. I didn't necessarily like feel like that. The only thing is, at my first interview, I got asked a question and like, I like started off, I being good, and then I kind of went some distance. Like, I don't know where I went with it. And I was like, actually, can you like repeat the question? I'm a little confused. And then they kind of explained it a little bit further, and then I kind of had my aha moment and I pulled it together, I think. That's like my only thing, but I mean, I wouldn't even change that if I could. I mean, like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't think that's gonna like make or break me. You know when you like all these different little things about all the programs you've seen, and it's like you wish you could combine it into like your quote unquote perfect program? Like, I wish I could do that, but I can't. A lot of these programs are really great. They all have like amazing things about them and stuff, and I know it's going to be definitely a hard decision. I mean, TBH, it's only going to be a hard decision if I get in. If I were to get into all these schools I just interviewed at, I do not know what I would do. I'm just excited about the process. So yeah, I will catch you guys in my next video. I just have to edit this one now, and I want to get it up soon. Today is Monday. I want to get it up Tuesday. So if I get it up Tuesday, high five.